Good Thursday morning to you all. We got another Watchmen update, a lot of critical information out there, as well as Watchmen reports from all over. We got anti-terrorism travel ban announced for 12 countries that are now on the no visa list for the United States. We have a bioterrorism attack on the USA thwarted. You may have heard it on other channels. We'll let you know exactly what's going on with that. We got civil war inside the Republican camp in the U.S. and Trump is furious as his big spending bill is under attack. Iran is refusing a deal. Does this mean we're going to be going to war? United States was not warned about the attack on the Russian bombers, we're being told now. And we need to talk about the senior crisis in the United States. That and more coming right at you. Welcome to the Poplar Report. I'm Steve Poplar. I'm an accountant by trade, and this is your updates being sent in from all over. If you have something to share, make sure you use the word update. Appreciate all of you guys contributing to the reports. If you're seeing something out there, make sure you let us know. Pass that information along. That's what makes this community powerful. We do want to thank our sponsor, Genesis Gold Group. They help people who have retirement accounts to get out of stocks and bonds and get into something safer. So if you're tired of your retirement account going up and down with the stock market and you want to be in precious metals, Jonathan and his team can walk you through what that would look like and answer all your questions. No obligation to move forward with that, but there'll be a link at the end of the video for you to find out more. All right, President Trump has announced a travel ban on 12 countries. It goes into effect on Monday and was spurred, according to President Trump, by the Colorado attack. Because of that attack, not only is it that these people in many of these countries are unsafe to the United States, but they also have a very high rate of overstaying their visas. They get visas, come to the United States, and then they just stay. And then we have to find them, figure out how to deport them. And of course, then the Democrats are going to block any attempt to deport them. So the countries that are being impacted right now are Afghanistan, Burma, Chad, Republic of the Congo, Equatorial Guinea, Eritrea, Haiti, Iran, Libya, Somalia, Sudan, Yemen, and then there are partially restricted countries that have been added to the list again. Burundi, Cuba, Laos, Sierra Leone, Togo, Turkmenistan, and Venezuela. And as you listen to that list, a whole bunch of them were like, wait a minute, we were allowing people from those countries into the United States? That's crazy. Now this does kind of harken back to the travel ban back during President Trump's first term. So it kind of sounds similar, but the justification is different, and the legal stuff is different. So it should hold up better in a court case. We've seen that already. That President Trump's been getting a lot better legal advice this time around than he did last time around. All right, he's not president. Elon Musk has sparked a civil war of sorts in the Republican Party by criticizing the big, bold, beautiful bill for adding trillions of dollars to the U.S. deficit. He said to bankrupt America is not okay. And I think that most of us would agree with him on that. And I know some of you guys are kind of like, Steve, why were you sounding like you're kind of in support of this bill? It's just absolutely wasteful. It's going to create a lot more debt in the United States. There's a meme out there where the person is asking the question, like, if we can just print money, then why do I still have to pay taxes? And I'm kind of at that point where it's like, this whole thing is just one big dumpster fire anyway. Like, if we're just printing money out of thin air, then why do I have to pay taxes? We should be able to just fund the dumpster fire from fake money and just kind of let it burn. I don't know. Sometimes I'm a little too cynical, I guess. So it's just kind of like, Give us as much money back, or let us keep as much money as we can so that we can protect ourselves and let it all implode. I don't know. A whole bunch of you guys are much more hopeful than I am, and you're hoping that we can turn this thing around. I'm not as optimistic. So, to each their own, but make sure you're being prepared, because there's a decent likelihood I'm going to be right at the end of the day. The United States government debt doesn't matter until it suddenly matters. And when it matters, the world's going to change in ways that are going to terrify you. Terrify you and everybody you know. That's the truth. When the U.S. government can't borrow money anymore, you're going to see something change, something big change. And you're going to see banks collapse. You're going to see people being out of work across the United States. I won't get into it any more than that, but you just think through what happens when the United States can't borrow money anymore, or has to borrow at such a high interest rate that it just becomes impossible. President Trump out there admitting that he and the United States were not given warning about the attack on the Russian air bases that wiped out a third of Russia's strategic bomber fleet. President Trump had a 1.5 hour phone call with President Putin yesterday to try to talk about peace. President Trump even afterwards admitted that it doesn't look like there will be peace anytime soon. That's not encouraging. And he also did say that President Putin was going to order a retaliatory strike. U.S. embassies in Ukraine warning U.S. citizens to take cover or to be prepared to take cover shortly. That it does seem like there's going to be widespread retaliatory attacks, what that's going to look like, and the big question on everyone's mind, are there going to be nukes deployed? We're going to see. Hopefully not, but Russia is mad, and they haven't yet struck back. Iran's Khomeini dismissed the U.S. nuclear proposal and vowed to keep enriching uranium. So, on they go. Two Chinese nationals were charged with smuggling toxic fungus into the United States. These two researchers were charged with smuggling a biological pathogen. It's a fungus that they said they were planning to study at the University of Michigan in their lab. Except that fungus can devastate crops, like badly. And to bring that into the United States without any proper documentation, just trying to smuggle it into the United States, certainly makes it look like they were up to nefarious things, especially since one of them had a signed pledge to the Chinese Communist Party. They even discussed previously about how they had smuggled other things into the United States, other biological agents and such. So how many other nasty things do they bring into the U.S.? The question that needs to be answered soon. Linda says, I worked at Lowe's several years back. I was working as a cashier in the lawn and garden. I saw a person loading a trailer full of mulch. I knew that they didn't come through the lawn and garden to pay. I called the front of the store's cashier manager to see if the person had paid there. She checked and no one had collected any payment from them. The manager never sent anyone to approach the person. They drove off with a trailer full of mulch. Needless to say, I didn't waste my time ever reporting anything there again. That store closed at the end of that year. Gee, can you wonder why? Kathy in Northeast Wisconsin. Went to my local Walmart in Shawana, Wisconsin. It was very bare for products. The food was actually so low that there were no full shelves anywhere. My many empty shelves were evident. We were looking for yeast for bread making. I got the last 2. I felt lucky to get that. No breakfast sausage at all. The milk was so low. I found only 2 gallons, and so I grabbed them. I had my husband watch our cart to make sure that they stayed there. People are getting bold and taking things even out of people's carts. We couldn't get potatoes because of the musty smell that they had. All I can say is put your garden in if you can. It will be a lifesaver. Becoming more self-sufficient, friends, is the answer. And stocking up. Scott says, Louisiana, it's getting ridiculous to find an auto shop to do automotive repairs. Me and my son had 3 different garages tell us that they wouldn't do a manifold gasket. What kind of auto shops don't do this kind of work, and since when? I can only assume that they're making too much good money doing easy work and charging extra. Well, it's a sign for maybe you to get into auto mechanicking or other people. Encourage people around to start their own shops or to learn the work and get it done. Because if there's not enough auto mechanics, then yeah, they're going to get picky and they're going to do the stuff that they want to do and the stuff that's going to pay the most money for the least amount of effort. That's how markets work, right? Denise says, Northern Nevada, Carson City area, a much needed senior facility was recently built. It has been they've been a terrible neighbor throughout the building process. They had an open house months ago, signed up new residents, some who have sold their homes in anticipation of moving into the facility. It was supposed to be open by now, but it's still sitting empty because they cannot hire enough nurses to staff the facility. Yet more homes are being built and thousands of boomers are moving here, mostly from California. What are these aging people going to do when they cannot get care? I know that there is currently a waiting list for Meals on Wheels in this county. A senior crisis is unfolding in this county. As a 60-year-old, I am worried. Rightly so. Rightly so. Andrew says, Central Ohio, Kroger has lots of empty shelves. Moving product locations in the store makes it look less empty, but still. Ty says, I was a truck driver for 20 years. There's a company called Aurora out of Texas that is now operating an autonomous truck. Tesla's working on those. Other companies are too, right? I heard for the last 15 years that trucking jobs will be one of the first jobs to disappear in the AI revolution. If you are a driver, a telemarketer, a coder, a performer, or a white-collar worker, you need to work on your escape plan. I think we all need to work on our escape plan, don't we? E. Hyde says, Central Pennsylvania, last year, this time I got a flat of jalapeno starts from the Amish for $5. This year, they have them out again, but now they're $10. It's a big change. Lots of inflation happening, even to Amish products. Warden says, went to Lowe's to pick up some items I needed for a project. As I would expect, the garden center was busy. What really caught my eye was the pro parking area where the contractors would go, and it was mostly empty. This is one of the busiest Lowe's of Mississippi Gulf Coast, and usually in the past, the parking lot would be full of trucks, vans of all types. Sad to see the parking lot so empty. Housing starts, housing completions are down across the country. People can't afford new homes, and there's just not the demand for it right now. People are just scraping to get by. No matter how much optimism there is in the country, things are not good right now. Since 2008, things have gone downhill, not uphill. As much as they're like, the stock market's gone up. Well, with inflation, people's wages have gone down. The production of the United States, the GDP of the U.S. has gone down. Jeff says, Utah, I live within 6 miles of a huge Walmart distribution center. So things should be good for you, right? There are 3 Walmarts within 6 miles of me. Many empty shelves at all of these stores. It's like the old Soviet pictures. 38 miles across the Nevada border, further away, the shelves are packed. Guess where we shop? Why are there so many dented cans? This is not a one-off on the dented cans. Been going on over to Arizona for multiple years. Reed Garden says, I was watching the local news in Arizona, Hickman's eggs. That's we reported on the mass culling there. They're reporting over 6 million birds culled, and that is definitely the case. They're saying it will take about 2.5 years to clean and build the flocks back up. They're closing plants and laying off staff. Yeah, and a whole bunch of these facilities, they're just getting out of the egg laying business at all. I mean, this gives them a clean slate. The government cuts them a big check, and they could clean the facility. They could scrub it down for months and months and months, prepare it to reopen the whole thing, or they could just quit. And those companies and farms and families that are just like, you know, they're tired of it. This is a retirement plan. They get the big check and it's an opportunity to walk away. And some of them are doing that. Miss says, we received an updated insurance bill on Saturday. It's unreal. And check your roof coverage. That has changed. It's going to cost the owner depending on the age of the roof. Shop around for sure. We are all doing the best we can. Jacqueline says, tip, ground coffee has about 30% filler material. So not coffee, 30% other stuff. So if you can grind whole beans, you won't need to put as much coffee into your coffee machine. You're paying for wood, pulp, and other things. Just FYI for everyone out there. Jerry says dry food for dogs and pets is shorting the lifespan of our pets. Dry food creates inflammation, which leads to cancer. I quit the dry food. It's way better if my dogs have a baked potato, tallow with farm eggs. It takes less real food to feed our animals than one would think. Also, my pets are not dehydrated anymore from the dry dog food. Thanks for the update and enjoy your channel. Yeah, the dry dog food, I wonder if it's a lot of the carbs too. Carbs and sugars that they're putting in these things. I mean, just like all the other manufactured food that they're putting into our bodies, that's what it is. It's carbs and sugar, and you know, dry dog food's not really all that different. It's not healthy stuff. It's over-manufactured, and for pets, a lot of it's the garbage stuff that they can't put into human food. The stuff that they can't put into human food, they throw into the pet food. And it's not like fresh liver and organs and all this kind of stuff like that. The stuff that they're throwing in there is not good stuff. And if you knew what was going in the pet food, you would maybe think differently about feeding it to your pet or to any other living creature. I don't mean to be waging war on dried pet food, but this is what's coming from a lot of you guys, and as I've looked into it a little more, it seems to be absolutely correct. It's probably something you should be trying to steer away from if possible. Now, there may be ways to mitigate that, so if you look into what you can do to kind of mix with the dry dog food to kind of make it better, or kind of cut it with some other things, or start, just do your research on what you can feed pets and what you can't, and what's healthy for them. All right, friends, let us know what you guys think down in the comments down below. Keep your updates coming in. Appreciate you. I'm coming back to the U.S. shortly in the next couple days, so hopefully we'll be back on my studio set in the next couple of days. So thanks you for all your prayers for safe trips and everything like that. Had a very productive trip doing all the work around the country, India as well as the Philippines, working with people who are looking for training, looking for help, providing resources to them, educational resources, and helping them understand how they can better train each other and to make a real impact in different places. All right, friends, thanks so much for joining with us. If you want to check out another video from this channel, there's one right up here. If you want to get some more information from Genesis Gold about what you can do with your retirement account, there's a link right there on the screen. Just tap it, fill out your information, and they'll get in contact with you. All right, friends, thanks so much for watching. Steve Poplar of the Poplar Report out.